This is the board of the machine. There are some buttons here that we need to know how to use, but you don't need to know to make a protocol. You don't need to know how to use all the buttons are here. There are only some important buttons that are like 10 or 12 buttons. The first button that's important is this: preset D. This is change the application of the machine. The application of the machine is the kind of protocol that you are going to do. This is abdominal, kidneys, a small part, OB, arterial. That depends of what organ you are going to scan. After you choose what protocol you want to do, in this case I take abdomen, you take here the set button and the machine appear here what is the protocol that you are going to do. Second very important button is the button of the transducer. When you put the button of the transducer, you have here in this case 3 different transducers with different names. You change with the ball what is the transducer that you are going to use. In this case I am going to use the convex switched. I know it's the convex switched for the shape in the screen, and of course I put the set all the time. Very important button is the freeze button. Is here, is big. This is the button that you push when you want to freeze the picture. Freeze, unfreeze. Other important buttons are the gain, the overall gain. This is around the ball. When you put this button, the gain, the overall gain, you put all the picture bright or all the picture dark. This is different than the time gain compensation. In time gain compensation, when you move only one, you put only one mark. This is a gain by areas, and the gain is a totally gain. Time gain compensation always must be in diagonal, more amplification for deep, less amplification for superficial. This button is the deep, is how deep you are working. You can see here in the screen how you change the deep: 24 centimeters, 23, 22, 21, that depends on how deep you are going to working. This is the focal area. Here is the button to change the focal area. Say 2D focus. You can put the focus in different areas. This is the focus, this little arrow here. The button that is outside of the focal area is the button to change the dynamic range. That is the contrast of the machine. That is here that say what is the dynamic range. In the normal dynamic range we work is 55. You can put more contrast, less dynamic range, or less contrast, more dynamic range. The other buttons are to change the different modes. This is the button to working in B mode. The button that is side and say update is the button to change N mode. In N mode you have a B mode, a cursor, and a screen that show you time and distance. Is the repetition of only one line we use to measure the heart beating of the fetus. Go back, B mode. The other two buttons that are at the same side are the color Doppler. Color Doppler, put in the screen a box. Inside this box, arteries and veins where there are blood flow take color. And at the side you have the spectral Doppler that say PW. A spectral Doppler is similar than M mode, but it's not the same. You have also a B mode. In the B mode you have a little cursor. You put the cursor over an artery or vein, and you have here in the spectral mode time, velocity. This is the velocity of the blood at different time. We are going to 2D all the time, and we are going to talking about the calipers. Calipers are to measure in the screen. You put the caliper and you try to measure something. You put one caliper in one side, you push this button that is set, and with the other caliper in other area, you are measuring one distance. And if you want to measure more distance, you come in here to this button that say next. And when you have the button, you have other caliper, other time set, and you have measured 2 or 3. That depends of how many measures you want to make in the same screen. This is the button of text. In the button of text and with the keyboard, you can label the picture here, like example, right, kidney, sagittal, midline, and when you print the picture, you have also the label. And the last important button that we are going to talk in today is the print button. When you print, when you push the button here in the printer, appear the picture. We are going to make a review. Freeze, overall gain, print, test, set, next, B mode, N mode, spectral Doppler, color Doppler, calipers, time gain compensation, applications, and to change the transducers. With these buttons, you can make a protocol. You don't need to know all the buttons of the machine.